Kanye West taking sides, the next big hit to binge watch, and who's tweeting our politicians?
Comedian and man about town, Chuck Nice, joins us now on the couch to weigh in on what everyone's talking about around the water cooler today.
Yes.
So good morning, Chuck.
Let me just say
here.
before you begin that I am starring in the real-life version of Dark Man.
Why?
So,
oh, because, thank you, for obvious reasons.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
It'll catch up to you.
I'll wake up around 9 o'clock.
It'll catch up to you. Don't worry.
Thanks, Chuck. Well, now let's start with Kanye's latest rant. Kanye seems to be using his concerts as an opportunity to spout off. He was talking about Drake's Rolling Stone cover. What?
Kanye West, here's the thing. He's rapidly becoming like the hip-hop version of the old man who lives in the basement with tinfoil on his head, just like, they're listening to my conversations. Like, he has really gone off the deep end.
It's like conspiracy theory.
Yeah, he's basically saying...
Gibson driving a cab. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So he thinks that Rolling Stone is trying to pit him and Drake against one another. He's also railing against the head of Nike. He's also railing against Lauren Michaels, saying that, you know, you shouldn't be making jokes about me and sketches about me. And I'm like, you know, people would stop making comedy sketches about you if you stop being hilarious.
Right.
Because that's the problem.
Well, beyond that, why do you think this is going on? What's going on with this guy?
You know, I think he's just in his own bubble. You know, if I walked around all day long with people telling me how great I am, and everybody was on the payroll, I'd probably be a little nuts too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of power to have. Like somebody says, you know, I really think you should do this, and you're like, I really think you're fired.
Yeah. And that'll change people's opinions.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden it's like, Chuck, you're the greatest.
All right, Nicki Minaj and her new cover art. Even I heard about this story of ruffling feathers.
Really, Nicki Minaj has overstepped her bounds, and she really crossed the line. There's a cover right there up on the screen. And it's an iconic picture of Malcolm X where he is literally protecting his family. This is not Malcolm X activist, militant. This is Malcolm X under a death threat, being threatened, and his children are in the house when this photo is being taken. That's the circumstance under which this photo was taken. She took it and made it into something like he was a revolutionary, and of course his family doesn't appreciate this because this is not the legacy that Malcolm X wanted to leave behind. He really did come around to being a man of peace, and so what she did here was kind of pervert his legacy and his memory, and, you know, just to sell a few albums, basically. Well,
but this isn't the first time that Cash Money has done this. You remember last year when Lil Wayne was rapping about Emmett Till? And, like, these are these gimmicks that they're doing, I feel like, to sell records.
And it is just to sell records because there really is no valid reason to have Malcolm X. It's like an album cover with Gandhi giving the finger.
Right.
Like, what is that about?
Does that picture even exist?
No.
Kanye West wants it. He was going to put it on his next album.
I feel like the problem is also that people aren't educated enough to know the history behind that photo. You know, they only listen to the lyrics, they take Nicki's take on it, and then that's what they believe that is gospel.
Yeah, listen, if you're getting your history from Nicki Minaj, you got much bigger problems than that album cover, believe me.
Exactly, yes.
Has she made any comment? Has she apologized?
She apologized. She basically said, I'm sorry, but you know what that means. It's like, yeah, I did it, and now you're going to buy my album because everybody knows about my album now. And, you know, it's not something where you can blame the media for reporting it. It's a horrific act. What do you say? Oh, she just wants attention, so we're not going to report it? No, you have to. And so in a way, she's kind of manipulating the media in order to get her what she wants, which is publicity.
Not the first time, though.
What has to happen is people have to say, I'm not going to to buy the album.
Absolutely.
All right, now I feel guilty about this because basically right here on the couch, orange is the new black. So season 2 is upon us?
Yes.
Yes, and you know, I have to tell you that. Now, I'm not watching it.
You're not? Why?
No.
Are you taking a stand? You don't
because I'm watching. I have committed to Kevin Spacey
House of Cards.
And House of Cards.
Man, that's great.
And I can only binge watch so much. I watched 4 episodes of House of Cards this weekend, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my life here. I have children. I have children.
Wait till you see Claire in the shower. That's later in the season.
Oh my gosh, don't give it away. Now, what are the spoiler rules that you follow for binge watching? Do you have like a set plan?
Well, see, it's kind of cool. Like, when you see Claire in the shower is not a bad spoiler.
Right.
Okay, if that's going to happen. But, like, I do my spoiler alerts in multiple choice.
Okay.
Like, you will not believe that the vice president is A, an alien, B, a serial killer, 3, a robot. Like, you know.
Right, figure it out for
yourself. Like, one of those are true.
Exactly.
Can I ask you a question? When you are doing spoiler alerts, do you draw the line at sudden disappearances or death? Because see, there.
Oh God, yeah. Because now you've just ruined.
Yeah,
it.
now
When somebody dies,
nobody dies.
Yeah.
When somebody dies, I mean, seriously.
That's like giving the entire thing away.
Yeah, man. At that point, you know what you're doing. You don't like that person.
No, exactly.
I mean, somebody tells you who dies.
Friend.
If somebody tells you who dies in the series, that person hates you. Just know that.
But, were you a fan of Back to the Future?
Of course.
Okay, so Nike, I guess, is coming out with those power laces that we saw in Back to the Future. What are your thoughts on these?
The power laces, for those as like their boots, there they are.
Yeah.
You put them on and and they just kind of, you know, zip. And here's what I say. We are already making our children dumb enough as it is. Okay? We need one more thing to make them stupid. Now, 30-year-old men who don't know how to lace up their shoes because they got power laces.
But they have cool lights
or
on
Velcro
them.
straps. We already got Velcro straps, and
Yes.
we know that's terrible.
And that's easy.
Right.
That's
At some point, you got to get your kid off the Velcro straps.
Yes.
Power laces are fine if you know how to actually tie your shoelaces.
you have to do the bunny ears and have to go through the whole
Keep
process.
them off the pole and away from the Velcro.
That's exactly what Chuck says. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us on the couch. We appreciate you coming in. Feel better.
Man.
Yeah, man. I'm killing. You know what? I have an 8-month-old child that I like to call a disease factory. That's my new name for her. Let me say hello. Good morning, disease factory.
Oh.
This is what you have done to your
Thanks.
mom.
Look at what
Daddy
you've done
loves
to
you.
Daddy.
Daddy loves you.
Thanks,
Take
Chuck.
care.